Before going to the back of the house, I wanted to show you the side of the house. Now I'm on the driveway right now that runs all the way from the street to the detached garage. But if you notice, you see all the wiring that's been added. Now all this is phone, cable, satellite communication. It's just a bunch of junk on the side of the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the satellite dish. We're going to get rid of all the wiring that pertains to that. We're going to keep the cable that connects to the house and the phone that connects to the house, but we're going to get rid of everything that's on the side of the house and all these boxes and everything else. What's going to happen is the phone company is going to update their system here because this is very, very old. This is getting replaced anyway. The worst thing you can do is leave something that you know is going to be removed and thrown away, and now the new box may not cover the area that wasn't painted, because unless you instruct your painter to pull the box off and paint behind it, it probably is not going to happen. So now we'd end up with an area that we have to go back and touch up. So I'm going to clean all this up, and actually before painting on this house is getting a bath. It's getting a power wash. So it's going to be very clean to start with, and it'll get a nice coat of paint. Now, one thing you need to consider, this is our aluminum siding here, and then we have our block foundation. What color you paint your block foundation is critical, because you do not want the foundation to be the focal point of the outside of the house. So what we're going to do here is probably paint the foundation the same color as the siding, so we have a blend, we have a continuous color. I don't want the foundation white against a green, because now we're going to jump out. So typically paint that the same color as the house. I think everybody's doing that, but I've seen most people are doing it. I've seen houses that kind of look like a rainbow outside, all the different colors, and it's so busy it's distracting. So let's go in the backyard. Now, how many people think I need to keep this gate? I kind of like having to fight a gate when you open it like this. So, all seriously, the privacy fence is being replaced here. This is up temporarily because obviously we're working here and we don't want construction. Now, remember I said about cleaning up? We're in such a hurry in this house, like I said before. We have stuff like everywhere, which is not typical. So I want to use this as an example. Don't do this at home. So keep your trash cleaned up. A deck built directly on the ground can be a problem. Now, when we had our moisture termite inspection, it wasn't a real issue. The decking here is not totally rotten at all. You have some individual boards that are going to go, but let me show you this very crooked, sort of a weird octagon. So if you notice, our deck boards are running this way, and now you notice how they're running this way. To someone that is OCD, this will cause them not to buy the house, seriously. And I'm a little OCD, so I can say that. What we're going to do is we're going to actually remove this area right here. We're going to replace all of the deck boards and then make this a squared off edge of a deck. This, in a perfect world, if I had to replace all the wood under this deck wouldn't get replaced. It would be a concrete patio. I'd either pour concrete or do pavers. But the structure is fine here, so we're going to do deck boards and we're going to leave it. Now, this is an area that always gets people. You have to check your localities about asbestos shingles. In this particular case here, there's one missing that's going to get replaced with a piece of wood. They actually make wood panelings now that look like these, but you cannot disturb these unless they're properly abated. So any questions if anything's asbestos in the house or not, you have to have it tested by a professional, and do not mess with asbestos yourself. Have it properly abated. This garage will get painted, the door here will get replaced, and that shed is going to be torn down. Let me show you something interesting about this shed. Now, whose house do you think this door came out of? Right? So you still have where the mail slot was, right? And so if you notice how short it is, now it was an old house. You can tell, I mean, this is not something that you see on a daily basis, but it's kind of funny to see that they took a normal door out of a house, which was probably, 6'8" tall, standard door, and they whacked the bottom off to make it fit on this lovely shed. So you look at the floor, it's caved in, it's rotten and everything. This is going to end up in a dumpster. Not only that, is leaning. So this shed here has every structural, every wood rot. This is a perfect example of a shed you don't ever try to save, okay? This right here is exhibit 1. Tear it the hell down. And that's it on the exterior. Oh, that's not it. Back of the house, just going to have paint. We're actually going to put a gutter up here so we don't have water dripping down against the house. And something, we're always told that you need gutters, right? And maybe you hear because it helps the foundation, but let me show you what it does to the foundation. Now, in a case like this right here, you can tell we don't have any gutters above us here, so water runs down and drips right next to the house. Well, if you've noticed right here, this is the top of the footing of the cinder block, right? This is typically down in the ground a few inches, and when I build a house, it's down at least 12 inches or further. Depends on the soil. But you can tell that the erosion that has happened here, the footing is exposed. You see the extra? Now the good news is you can tell it's not cracked, so it's a great solid foundation. But we're going to actually add dirt in this area here so that the water sheds away from the house and into the backyard, and we're not allowing it to pool up in this area here like it's currently doing. I'm lower here than I am at that end of the house, so water's going to drain here and settle here. The goal with water, get it away from the house as fast as possible. It prevents crawl space issues, prevents foundation issues. And that's it on the exterior of our flip.